Security, your personal security. When we were young, we used to be told, don't talk to strangers. Don't get into a stranger's car. Don't go just into a neighbor's house, into a stranger's house. Don't go wandering into a mall or a supermarket. We were warned about the environments we were living. We were told and trained to be to understand. When someone knocked at the door, peep through the window. Never go and open the door. When someone calls you or gives you a sweet, don't go for it. In fact, run away from it. When someone says they've been sent by your mom or your dad or a sibling, don't listen to them. Don't trust them. And these words helped us a lot to escape so much. So much. Don't go into every birthday party. Sometimes even school events. I remember as a child, I never really went to some of these major school events. I came to actually take myself when I was an adult. Because some of these school events, apart from the finances, they're just question marks here and there. We were warned as children. We were cautioned as children. And maybe we didn't get the whole logic. But let's look at where life is right now. Someone calls you up, tells you I have a gig, I have a job, tells you let's meet at a restaurant, then says, you know what, there's this office. And you go to this office, only to hear this office is in a home. And then that's the last part to hear about you. That is if you do make it alive. Most probably, if you did make it alive, you're not the same. They've done horrible things to your body, to your mind, to beyond. Yes, we're living at a very hard time where employment is tough. So people get desperate. But at the same time, some people claim to give you offers to take you to a place A or place B, whether local or international, to be able to get, a better job, a better deal. But many people fail to do their due diligence and try and inquire, who are these people? What's this agency? What about this agency? Are there stories about these agencies? You don't ask. You say, oh, God has heard my prayer. Boom, you move. But remember, even the devil provides what's good. Because remember, we always look at him with a pitchfork, red, and all. He comes with the deals. And so some people end up compromising or end up going through the most horrific ordeals. And sadly, we never get to hear some of their stories because they become statistics buried somewhere. Only God knows where it is. And that's why we should always be very careful. With phones and with gadgets all around us, we get to think, maybe I'm in a safer spot. But with the cameras of our phone, our laptops, CCTVs within our homes, especially those ones that are able to look from within the house, not the one doing the outside doors. This one people put in their bedrooms and stuff like that. Hackers can do beyond your imagination. And we allow so much in. How many people right now, smart TVs are the most hackable of them all. You're on your laptop, so you are conversing with someone, you think you know them. They implant a virus, you click a link in between a conversation, nothing bad happens. What you didn't know is they sent you a bug. And the moment you pressed it, now they have control, they can hear everything. But it didn't make your laptop or your phone, buzz or anything. It will look like it's okay. Only after time you start realizing maybe it's overheating, some stuff that weren't there normally. And by the time, by God's grace, if you do find out, you're lucky enough. But not many people do get to figure that part out. Being aware of your surroundings is very important. Fine, you go to an event where there's a party, whatever type of event. And let's say the event ends, let's say at, late hours, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. not late hours. Let's say from 10 p.m., towards the midnight. Do you have your own money for how you're going home in regards to, do you have a cab? Do you have a particular individual or cab? Are you just going to take, a random taxi and say, I'm going, because you really don't know whose taxi you're getting into? You are driving. Do you have someone who is in a better place, sober, and even keen on everything, who can be the driver or be your co-driver? You don't just go to an event. How are you dressed? There's stuff on that table to drink. What are you drinking? Because if you are wasted on alcohol and any other drug that may be in that event, meaning you cannot even tell where you are. And at the end of the day, things will happen. And the saddest part is the people who end up doing evil to you are your so-called friends. Yes. Your so-called friends, your so-called we are together in this. Those are the ones who leave you. They'll invite you to an event, promise you is going to be lit and all that stuff, and they'll be the ones to trap you with some strangers. I remember seeing this back then, where if you're going out, if let's say if you go out clubbing and stuff like that, and you'll be like three of you, but one of you knows a stranger on the other end, so maybe this stranger calls them and buys them a drink, and then that person is told not to look within one of you unless you have friends, you have ladies around you. So you're thinking, the ladies are like, oh, this guy is buying drinks and all. I remember I used to warn the ones around. I'm like, don't. Because your friend who has gone the other end has already been bought us. Now they have no issue, whether they know the individual or whether they compromise because of that alcohol. And that's how we lose people. And after you're gone, what do you think the story will be? What do you think the story will be? Your family will be left crying. Those close to you will be left crying. And that's what will be. Another statistic, another lesson to learn, another example for others to avoid. You don't need to be a statistic. We are living in dangerous times. We are living in very sad times where people have become desensitized in humanity. With the likes of corn and the imagery that has been played in the minds of people, they now look at in people as objects they can use and abuse. And now with the increase of child, traffic lights, human, traffic lights, SRAs, satanic, and then ritualism, and then the abusement. Yeah, you do the coding from there. All that and any other in related to it. People are looking at people as objects. When you look at how wars are, where one person wakes up and decides another person doesn't need to live because they have all the military prowess. If you look at the crimes, the stabbings, the robbery and everything, right now the increase has gone top the notch. And right now you have to be extra careful where you drive, where you buy properties, what you do, the people actually whom you employ, where you work. I remember I've worked in a place whereby I witnessed this beforehand, where a person had almost stabbed. I've seen someone also been almost nearly stabbed. I've seen it close, and these are people who had exited a company, and they were good until their point of exit, and then they tried coming back. So we are living in times whereby people don't know how to accept accountability, rejection, and so it plays in the back of their mind that no, they are not the problem, you are the problem. We have people, you get into a relationship with someone you think is solid, and then the person turns psychosocial, and maybe all through they were never the red flags. Some people are just so good at hiding their red flags. They're just too good. You might see it from a distance, but you might mistake it for protect or being overprotective and say, maybe they're just caring. People know how to hide, and in this 21st century, people are very good at hiding. And you exit a relationship, you're thinking, you even have the best time of your life saying, I'm free from it. I'm not even talking even to the extent of the marriage and divorce. I'm just talking about pure dating, that. But eventually, this person figures out where you stay, everything, and things happen to you. And if they can't come to you directly, they will send your friend, your colleague. You can't trust anyone. Even where, I remember even our place I used to work, even my cup of tea or whatever it is, if it would had anything in it, I'd go and spill it. Glass of water, I'd go wash through. Let's say I wasn't there at the time. Food, I'd go through it. I'd rather get a new plate and sort myself out. Why? Because personally, I have been poisoned. So some of these things I'm speaking, and I was very careful. But the person was very careful. So we need to be very careful of where we are, of our surroundings, and the people around us. We don't know anyone. Remember, you don't know the heart of anyone. Not your parent, not your sibling, not your child. Nobody. So we can't take life lightly. Life is cruel. And some people go through an abusive, let's say abusive relationship, for example, and they were never abusive. But some people who get out of, who survive or who go through the process, painful process, some turn into abusers, some just keep to themselves, and some become super possessive. People are doing things to survive, and nobody will ever show you who they really are. Bullying. Bullying has been all through our lives. You are bullied at childhood, you are bullied in high school, you are bullied in campus, you are bullied in a college campus, you are bullied whether it's in church, you're bullied family-wise. Bullies are everywhere. The bullies of then and the bullies are now a bit different, because the bullies of now, when they say they will take you out, like they will execute you, they literally mean it. The people of let's say, the words we would assume back then, the 2000s and below, 2000 and back to the 90s and back. If someone told you, I'm going to do ABCD words to you, be like, hey, yeah, gibberish. If someone tells you the exact same word right now, they mean every single tone of their word. And it's sad when you're in those situations, because if it's property, you will lose. I used to hear this thing of someone says, men would find themselves in a situation whereby a woman can, try to take your life and take even what you have. I had thought it was jokes. It happened to me. I survived the ordeal, but I didn't survive it emotionally. Mentally, I've never been the same. And it literally changed me for good. For us, for good, I really don't know. At the end of the day, my trust issues went to zero. So that's me. But these are things I used to see. These are things you watch in crime shows. You're like, wow, if it was me, I'd do this ABCD. Until it is you. And then you realize, like in a snap of a finger, your life can change. So those are situations that sometimes they happen. As careful as you can be. But what you can avoid, please avoid. Don't just pick up any phone and someone asks you a personal question on a phone and you answer. Even if someone says they're a police officer, so what? Don't just answer. Just ask them from which police station. Fine. Then take yourself to that police station. Tell them, you know what? Instead of calling me over the phone, because I don't know if you're a scam or real, which police station is it? And then you yourself plan, go, check out the place. If someone tells you there's an interview, there's something I used to do that has helped me a lot. If you're called for an interview by a company, legitly you can see even through net and everything, internet, everything is real. What you always do, arrive 2 hours before. Why 2 hours before? The first 30 to 45 minutes is to scope the area. You want to be sure. And when you're scoping the area, you're also going to confirm with the security guards around. Oh, but this thing, I was looking for something. I was told there's a company that looks like, anyway, maybe I'm wrong. Go, oh, no, there's a place called ABCDEFGH. And then you'll ask like, is there something wrong with that company? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let me just go. And this person will tell, no, there's ABCD. You understand? So you have to scope the place you're doing your interview. You have to scope your place where you're going. If you're going to meet someone, you have to scope it. If you're going on a date, and you're going to meet a person, or you're going in a meeting, you're going to meet an individual, whoever this person or people are, scope it up. If you are to meet at let's say 10 a.m., be there by 8 a.m. Scope it. Do nini. If that place, let's say it even has a supermarket or something, good. Go through there. It has a more supermarket and all that stuff. Buy yourself something you didn't want to buy. Buy water, buy something, even if it's gum or a sweet. And just walk around. Ask questions. The security guys are always amazing. Ask. So that you can have a rough idea of what is really going on. So that even if the worst comes to worst, you are like, oh, whatever, man. I did try my best. Even when you call some of these places, I remember there's a place I went, this building. And this building is called In Africa House. And the crazy part about it, when you go to this building, So things along Konange Street. When you go to this building, it has many offices. And you never can tell which office is which office. And when someone calls you for a meeting, you have to be super, super careful. And every room is locked. They're just, baseline, they look okay, but if you're not careful, you're gone. And so people are wicked nowadays. You will be late. If someone calls you off, let's say it's 4 p.m. and someone says, hey, I have a meet, can we catch up at 5 p.m., 6 p.m.? Don't go. I don't care what that meeting was. I don't care if it's going to change your life. Let it change your life the next day, normal hours. 10 a.m. 4 p.m. is when you are now winding up your day. 5 p.m. 5 p.m. onwards, you're winding up your day. So why would I be winding up my day and then starting up my day with something I'm not very sure of? Wind it and go home and rest. But don't try and say, maybe there's this deal. Be very careful. And learn to be contented to the extent that when you get these deals, you are careful. Businesses that you do, I've done chauffeur for hire, is the most dangerous jobs. I did then. Right now I can't because I have a broken arm due to an accident. But then I did it. And what I used to do, I used to make sure at least 4 people knew. So when I pick a car, because I used to be the driver for her, if I'm given a car, I'd scope the area an hour before, take the plate number, send it to a friend, and even know where I'm going. And every stopover, I just pretend I'm doing something, so that should anything ever happen, at least someone can be able to travel. Because that's where we are in the world. You can't say you're traveling from country A to country B and think it's the same. No. Every country has its own story. Every country has the story. Things happen. Every country has its own culture. Every country has its spooky stories. Every country, every community has something where they say, you don't go at this time. You don't walk at this time. You don't do this there. You don't do this, and those things you must respect them. If they tell you don't walk down a river at a particular time, don't walk it. If they tell you don't leave the house at X point time, don't do it. Respect those things, those warnings. Take them with a lot of weight. We live at a time where people want to say we are free, young, wild, and free. Yeah, you want to be very careful with how free and how wild you want to be, because the world there is very wild, and it doesn't care, and it really doesn't care what happens to you. And we are living at a time where people are now opening doors to robbers, to all PDF files, and all those kind of characters in the name of followers or following or views, where let's say you've not rented out the premise as to where you're doing your content, because the safest you can do is find a place and rent it out, so that in terms of if everyone is trying to track you or anything, you're safe. And then even if you're doing a live feed, you can either do a pre-recording and release or something, but if you're doing an actual record at that time, let it be in a safe spot, that should anyone be trying to follow up where you are and has ill motive, they'll never find you. But if you're doing in real time, where your family is there, your wife is there, your children are there, or your girlfriend there, or your boyfriend is there, you are giving people eyes. And the thing is, what you have, another person wants. You're pregnant, another woman says she deserves to have your child. Maybe she deleted hers and she's thinking yours is the one she wants because you have the complexion she needs, or she just doesn't want to see any other person with the child. It's happening. People are losing children in hospitals. You deliver well, you go through your gyna, they go to the delivery room, the nurse shows you a child the moment, the first day, then kids exchange or child is gone, never to be seen again. So people are wicked out here. Be very careful. Don't take lightly your security. Don't assume that with all these cameras, CCTV cannot stop the crime. It can track the person who did the crime after they've done the crime. But at the time of the crime, how many has it stopped? Unless you are an individual, or you are a people or a team or a gang that has been terrorizing or doing this thing for a long time, then now the security agencies will now try and figure out what is your timing to attack in a particular area, then that time you can be caught. But till then, TV cannot stop the incident. So which one do you prefer? Do you prefer being the one who become the statistics of where everybody is looking through a camera and saying, or the one who's cautious enough, you don't need to go down that rabbit hole? Be careful. The world is not a safe space. We were trained when we were kids never to trust the world. And I still stand by that rule. Because at the end of the day, we cannot survive in this world the way the world is operating. The world is wicked and the hearts of people are cold. People are not looking at people as human beings with love and appreciation. Even the animals are 10 times better than us. Humans are looking at other humans like, if I can remove this one, maybe I will eat more. If I can remove this one, I can succeed more. Stop taking lightly your security. Take your security very important. Stop assuming the world isn't what we thought it was. Neither will it ever be better. It will only get worse. And at the rate at which people are being pressed to the edge, people will start attacking others. And you don't know the extent to which someone will come after you. So, don't take your security lightly. Beware of your environments. Don't trust easily. Question everything and everyone. And be very careful. Let someone you know be able to know your movements for your own security. Because at the end of the day, you do not want to be another statistic or another individual seen from a CCTV and people are saying, oh, and there you are. Don't be a statistic. So, beware of your environments. Don't trust easily and question everything. May God help us all. May He protect us all.